Hello everyone. This is the third day of semester 3 presentation. Myself, Arti Selvaya. In this presentation, I am going to deal with this topic, White Sargasso Sea, as a post-colonial novel. This is my personal information. Table of content about the writer, about the novel, uh, about post-colonialism, White Sargasso Sea as a post-colonial novel, and then conclusion and references. Uh, about the writer, Jane Rice was a Western Indian novelist and who is earned acclaim for her early work set in the Bohemian world of Europe in 1920s and 30s, but who stopped writing for nearly 3 decades until she wrote a successful novel set in the West Indies. She was encouraged to write by English novelist Maddox Ford. Her first book, a collection of uh, and short stories, The Left Bank, was uh, and uh, followed by the another collection of short stories are like postures. After leaving Mr. Maxine, voyage in the dark, and good morning and midnight. White Sargasso Sea uh, is a novel that reconstructed the earlier life of fictional character Antoinette Cosway, who was Mr. Rochester's maid first wife in Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. Smile, Please, which is his unfinished autobiographical work, which was published in 1979, and these are some other notable works written by her. About the novel, White Sargasso Sea is a novel written by Jane Rees. It is published in 1966. A well-received work of fiction. It takes its theme and main character from the novel Jane Eyre by Gerald Bronte. The book details the life of uh, Antoinette Mason, a West Indian who marries an unnamed man in Jamaica and returns with him to his home in England, who is locked in a loveless marriage and settled in an unhospitable climate. Antoinette goes mad and it frequently violent. Her husband Rochester confines her to the attic of his house at Thornfield. Only he and Grace Poole, the attendants he had hired to care of her, know of Eternity's existence. The reader gradually learns that Eternity's unnamed husband, Mr. Rochester, later to become a beloved of Jane Eyre. Much of the actions of novel takes place in the West Indies. The first and third, this novel is in three sections. First and third sections are narrated by Eternity, and the middle section is narrated by her husband Rochester. About postcolonialism. Postcolonialism is the historical period or state of affairs representing the aftermath of Western colonialism, and the term can also be used to describe the concurrent project to reclaim and rethink the history and agency of people subordinated under the various forms of imperialism. Postcolonialism singles the possible future of overcoming colonialism. Yet, new form of domination or subordination can come in the wake of such changes, including new form of global empire. Post-colonialism should be confused with the claim that the world we live in now is actually devoid of colonialism. Post-colonialism theories and histories have been concerned with investigating the various trajectory of modernity as understood and experienced from the range of philosophical, cultural, and historical perspective. They have been particularly concerned with engaging with the ambiguous legacy of enlightenment as expressed in the social, political, economical, scientific, legal, and cultural thought beyond Europe itself. The legacy is ambiguous according to postcolonial theory because the age of enlightenment was also the age of empire, and the connection between these two historical epochs is more than incidental. White Surrogacy as a post-colonial novel. White Surrogacy is a fundamental postmodern and post-colonial novel, which is completely composed as an answer to Cherolita Bronte's Jane Eyre. Uh, Through her deconstructionist technique, Rice adeptly plays upon the subject, character, and general plotline of Jane Eyre, using every one of the gift and spoof of pesty strategy of postmodern novel, which stamps the white surrogacy as an impeccable post-colonial satire of Cherolita Bronte's Jane Eyre. In her revising of fundamental pieces of Jane Eyre, Rice offers voice to intentionally host Jane Eyre's characters with a post-colonial endeavor, to uncover the other side of connected character and the story. White surrogacy is emerged as a part of post-colonial literature, where both national and religion consciousness tries to assert different from the imperial center. Um, White surrogacy is considered Rye's masterpiece, contribute to the era of post-colonial literature. The novel is regarded as the prequel of Cherylita Bronte's Jane Eyre, and it regarded as the most intensively studied and instantly explored the English novel. It has been captured the world's attention and aroused a heated discussion among the literary circle. White surrogacy can be categorized under the merit perspectives, namely a feminist criticism, post-colonial criticism, or a perspective of double decolonization. Jane Rice portrays the characters of Rochester and Antonity to describe and define the wider race relation typical of the West Indian, where European born or live there, educated to conceive of England as a home where culturally marked and excluded as inferior colonies. At the same time, they were racially and institutionally privileged in relation to the African people brought there as slaves to work in plantation, occupying a position of elimination. Eliminate. White surrogacy through a post-colonial novel is much more complex in terms of the identity of national and nationhood as the main character of the novel. Antonity is a white Creole inhabitant of Jamaica just after the Emancipation Act is passed. She is at once neither English or Jamaican, and is home in nation that is not her original homeland of England. This search for identity within our nation itself, however, is not unusual within a post-colonial novels. A major feature of post-colonial literature is concerned with place and displacement. It is here that the special post-colonial crisis of identity comes into being in concern with the development of recovery of an affective identifying relationship between the self and place. In this novel, she focuses on three major issues like slavery, male dominance, and Jamaicans. Black people continued to serve the Creoles even after the passing of the Emancipation Act in 1833. Part 1 of the novel shed light on the ex-slaves who had worked on the sugarcane plantation of rich Creoles. Although the Emancipation Act had freed the slaves when Antoinette was still a child, compassion of black workers on the island was overdue, and the servants were still treated by their white employers. Rice also explores the theme of woman subjugation, subjugation, subjugation to male authority in white surrogacy. In the novel, female characters are introduced as a fable being who are dependent on the men around them for legal, sexual, and financial securities. When Antonetti's father passed away, her mother relies on her second marriage to bring back her status in society. She wants to escape from the colibri and regain the status among her friends to bring back her. So explores the theme all shed light on the ex-slaves who had worked on the sugarcane plantation of rich Creoles. Although the Emancipation Act had freed the slaves when Antoinette was still a child, compassion of black workers on the island was overdue, and the servants were still treated by their white employers. Rice also explores the theme of woman subjugation, subjugation, subjugation to male authority in white surrogacy. In the novel, female characters are introduced as a fable being who are dependent on a man around them for legal, sexual, and financial securities. When Antoinette's father passed away, her mother relies on her second marriage to bring back her status in society. She wants to escape from the colibri and regain the status among her friends. When Antoinette's father dies, there we can see the male dominant. There we can see the status of woman. She do a second marriage instead of raises her child lonely. The men in the novel can be categorized as ultimate opportunities who use their wives as a key to access wealth. Both Anity and Eternity are dependent on men near to them like children dependent on their parents. It can be argued that Antonity is a part of black society and always aware as a black of the difference and distance between them. Antonity and Rochester are representative of two cultural worlds, incapable of reciprocal understanding. Rochester is representing the white people, and on the other side, Antonity is represent the black people, and we can also see the difference between both of the characters. And Jane Rice, white surrogacy is a product of postcolonialism, and the use of she also used the language, and the language of this is also representing the extraordinary ability to subvert the ideologies of the West. Jane Rice uses in her novel both standard British English and Jamaican varieties of English as the language of periphery. Jane Rice in white surrogacy by means of language emphasizes the construct the setting the Creole, Black, and European identity. The race relationship of the novel. Rochester, representative of European discourse and power, rejects the variety of English, and he refuses Creole as a language which he dislikes and cannot understand. Conclusion. Rice, with the help of colonial Caribbean background, communicates with the readers by introducing modern themes like destitution, marginalized identity, alienation, oppression, and quest for freedom. Our white Sargasso Sea depicts many post-colonial and modern issues that many can relate to. She has planned the novel by reconciling the plot with her own experience. Issues such as slavery, male dominance, displacement are still a part of our world, but at a different level. The novel is widely studied across the colleges and universities due to its depth and relevancy of the era till date. These are the references. Thank you. Now you can ask me question. My question is, what is the exploration of the theme of colonialism in White Sargasso Sea? In White Sargasso Sea, the theme of colonialism is described by the female, mostly by the female characters like eternity and anity, because after the freedom from slavery, they are still wanting someone who can rule over them. They cannot even imagine the freedom for themselves. My question for you is that what role does identity play in the novel, particularly in relation to the issue of race and nationality? In the issue of race and nationality, identity play a vital role because um, we can find the race theme of race when between the character of Rochester and Eternity, because as I mentioned that Rochester is represent the white people, and Eternity is represent the black people, and both are Rochester rule over her wife who is belonging black people, black community, and he also